We are talking about Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And their disappointing box office debut.
What
The
a
rom-com
shock.
is officially on life support. Although to have life support, I think you need to be alive. I think
Right.
Anthony said that earlier.
Yes, there has to be some life support at the beginning to have have it at the end. But
Here's a burning question that still remains unanswered. Is the romantic comedy genre dead? We could debate that question all day. What's clear is that the genre was once a tentpole in the world of cinema, and now it barely exists. Oh, gosh. They're
agree
acting
with
like this is just a normal rom-com, though.
Yeah, it's not. It's the complete opposite of a normal rom-com. I will agree to a certain extent as far as the rom-com in movie theaters. I think less people are definitely seeing romantic comedy, like just comedies in general, whether they're romantic or not, in theaters. I think, especially post-pandemic, most people are seeing movies in theaters that are meant to be seen on the big screen, like the one we're talking about tonight, Top Gun Maverick.
Honestly, I definitely fully agree, because if I'm going to pay $20 for a ticket, why am I going to go see a rom-com?
If you're paying $20 for a ticket, you're going to the wrong theater. I have it's about $8, maybe $7, maybe $4 if it's on Tuesday. Chambersburg.
Okay, I think we're talking like IMAX, big screen. Those are a little more expensive.
Right. They are a little more. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. When I saw the previews or whatever for this movie, I made a note in my phone to check what it did at the box office when it finally comes out. Right. And it did not disappoint. It had a budget of what was the budget?
It was 22 million.
Yes.
And it made 4 million?
So far.
4.8. 4.8
first week, opening weekend.
So it's got a ways to go to make up. It's got to make at least 44, 45, 50 million.
Although, here's a question for you. Brokeback Mountain was a huge success, right?
Oscar wise, yeah. I don't know what it did at the box office, but Oscar wise.
Well, I was curious when I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, gay movies. Well, that's one, right? And
yes,
personally, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So
many people think it should have won Best Picture over. I forget what actually won that year, but it's a big debate. People think it should have won Best Picture that year, right? 05.
So it can be done, essentially, right?
Okay, so Brokeback Mountain did 178 million at the box office.
That was back in
pretty good.
What 20 years ago?
2005.
Okay, yeah,
almost.
Yeah, that was pre Dark Knight, Heath Ledger. The budget couldn't have been more than 10, 20 million, I would assume.
Granted, those were A-list actors.
The budget was 13 million.
Yeah, see that's the other part of it. That's the other part of this. This did not have any known actors. To attach yourself to a romantic comedy, usually you have to have at least minimum one A-list actor. And this
the only guy I recognized was the comedian guy. What's his name?
Yeah, Billy Eichner.
Yeah.
He's funny and all. I love his comedy, but he's funny. Just like, there was another one, Call Me by His Name.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. Came out a couple.
That was 2017. Box office. Okay, that one made 41.9 million.
Okay,
but that was a small budget movie too. Though it was
definitely smaller for sure.
It was a small release. It wasn't like a wide release. Its opening weekend had 4 theaters, and its widest release was 900 theaters. So that movie wasn't even trying to make a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I from this article, I just did not like that Eichner essentially blamed straight people for not seeing, for blaming straight people.
That's the thing.
Really?
I feel like this is a common thread, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, is because I feel like this is a common thread in all movies nowadays, is that they kind of hedge their bets and they put stuff out there ahead of time to basically say, hey, this is why our movie failed. It's because of bigotry, rather than owning up to the fact that, hey, you made a crappy movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's easy to.
So they've done it since Ghostbusters 2016. They start talking about bigotry or how people don't like strong women characters, especially in the sci-fi genre. That's just total bunk. We've been loving Princess Leia and Sigourney Weaver.
Freaking Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor. Like, these are iconic, strong, actual strong women characters that have been idolized for decades. And to turn around and say that, it's because men are afraid of strong female characters, especially in a more sci-fi genre, is just ridiculous. So they hedge their bets and they put all this stuff out there. And sure, they can probably come up with plenty of tweets because Twitter is just a cesspool of negativity and anger. Mm-hmm. So they can come up with plenty of tweets of people saying nasty things to the actors and about the movie. But when the reality is, sometimes you just put out a crappy product that no one wanted to see. And the marketing for this movie was awful. Awful. Because you can't, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but with the amount of gay people that there are in the country, you can't support a movie on just gay people.
No.
You need your straight heterosexual males to go to the movie because they're the ones who usually go to movies. Mm-hmm. And this movie was even joking about the fact of like, hey, we want to make a gay movie that straight guys will come to. And they said this in the trailer. And they're just like, that's impossible. It's not going to happen. Like, they have these scenes in the movie. They have these lines in the movie, like in the trailer. They have this like scene where a bunch of it's like the joke of the gay mafia. So you have a scene where a bunch of people are sitting around. One of them's trans, one of them's a lesbian, one of them's bi, and they're sitting there and they're complaining that like bi people only get a week of recognition while lesbians get a whole month of March and gay guys get Pride Month, and they're trying to group everything in with it. Do you guys remember straight people? Oh yeah, they had a nice run. That's literally a tagline in the movie, as if like straight people
I remember that
are going out of fashion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they also have this thing of, gay sex was more fun when straight people were uncomfortable with it. And like, I'm sorry, but the content is simply something that most people don't want to see, regardless of it being about gay people or straight people. It was just kind of came off as crass and unrelatable. Tasteless. And tasteless. Most people aren't going to want to see this. The one preview, I literally had to put in my age to see the main preview for the movie because it wasn't even a red band trailer. It was just like had that many jokes in it that were just like not for children. So I had to, put my age in to see the trailer. And the one scene I was sitting there going like, oh my God, this is shocking. It would be shocking to see if it was straight people doing it, let alone a gay scene.
Right.
So it's just like, it's not normal to see that stuff in a movie. No one's going to want to go see it if you market it this way. So yeah, they got what they aimed for. And shock, surprise, surprise. The straight guys didn't show up to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really don't know what they expected here. I really don't. I'm at a loss here.
I'm surprised it made $4 million, to be honest.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't make these movies for their, Like, I'm all about, and we've talked the past several weeks about Rings of Power and representation. Mm-hmm. I'm all for that, sure. But don't get mad at me if I don't want to go see your movie just because it doesn't appeal to me. Yeah. Make something that appeals to me and I'll go see it.
Right. Your goal was not to appeal to a certain group of people, and that's it. You literally want to create a movie that appeals to a wide range of audiences and different diverse groups. And if you can't do that, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
That's my take on this. Anything else to add, guys?
I don't think so. Not for me.
No.
From three straight white guys. I'm assuming Daniel. I really don't know. Well, I know Anthony and I are. I'm assuming you are too, Daniel.
I don't like you assuming, but thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah.
You shouldn't assume that. You really
shouldn't assume anything these days. He could be whatever he wants to be.
Yeah,
it's true.
But I just wasn't impressed. And this article trying to blame people and write them off as bigots for not seeing it is just, it's ridiculous.